Hello, welcome everyone to Alien's Joy today. Thank you for being here. Namaste. It is wonderful to have you here watching the show today, this episode of Alien's Joy. I am your host, Alien Haan. I am super excited to be here today, although I'm not feeling 100. I am just waking up with this huge cold and sniffy nose, and I can't breathe and all that stuff. So you might be able to hear that a little bit, but um, that's no reason to stop the show, right? So we're just going to move on today and talk a little bit about what I do as a coach with my clients. And I want to give you some things to think about today. And just we'll do it in the short form. I'm always grateful to be on the Win-Win Women TV platform. If you're watching that, if you're watching Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, welcome, welcome. My name is Elian Haan, like I said, and I am an executive midlife and transformation coach. I help people through those times in life where you feel super stuck, and I help leaders and executives move on with minds and with work-life balance and mindset. So those are all important things, right? That we have to think about and work through and work with. And I just love what I do. I love helping people. Most of my life, my career has been in the fitness and wellness industry. And right now I have a private practice as a coach, helping people all over on Zoom and in person and through webinars and through courses. So I hope that you will follow me. I'm on social media everywhere or alienhaan.com. And so follow me and reach out, right, if you have questions. Today it's a great day to start, of course, with one of the things that we want to think about when it comes to us and what we can do for ourselves to find our strength. And our strength is always something that I start with my clients as well. Just kind of finding out what are you good at, right? What is your strength? Because most of the time when people come see me, they know what they don't want, but they're not really sure what they do want. And that's always the thing that we work on. So how does your amazing future looks, right? What do you want to see? What is your vision? What is your dream? And I can tell you that your dreams come true because I made mine come true and I have many, many more. And I'm in charge. I can just make my mindset so that I will plan out my future and slowly work towards it. Now, that doesn't mean that God is going to throw me some curveballs once in a while, but I know that that is only temporary. So in case I have a really big vision, right? For me, for instance, to be a speaker and to have retreats and to even have retreats internationally, to go everywhere and to be able to travel and speak to women everywhere in the world. That is one of my dreams. And I'm really busy realizing those dreams. And this television show, this episode, this television show, Alien's Joy, is one of it. So it's one of these things where I can communicate with you and just share some things that I am always working with and working on and working with clients and working with you. It's also so amazing because it helps me as well. I mean, we're thinking about the things that we are that we are encountering daily, right? And when I wrote my book 2 years ago, I published a book, 60 Miles from Neiman's, and that book became a bestseller. And in that book, the biggest quote that I wrote, my quote that I wrote, that sounds funny, my quote that I wrote was, life doesn't get any easier, but you get better at it. And that is really true. As long as you're going to dive a little deeper in what your strengths are, what your personality is, what you would love to do, what you're good at, what is your purpose, right? What is your why? People are always asking where, what, and when, but what is your why? What is your unique disposition and your unique purpose here in this world? And we have to come to a place that we're proud of what we are and that we can use it to help others and that we can use it for our own benefits, right? We just love to make other people happy. That makes us happy as well. That's a really good thing that we can do. Now we want to be able to find our strength. And strength, a list of strength. I always give my clients a list of strength. If you want to reach out and get that list of strength, I'll be very happy to share it with you. So just reach out at alianhaan@gmail and then I'll send it to you. But it has a lot to do. I'll give you a few because this list is really long. But I give you a few. This is, for instance, are you being affectionate? Right? Are you being aspiring? Are you being calm? Usually, do you have this calm personality around people, right? That they're so attracted to? Are you cheerful? Are you charismatic? Are you one of these people that comes in the door and then everybody, bam, just, looks at you and go like, wow, that is just, an amazing person stepping in the door. Are you competitive? Are you communicative? Are you creative? Are you determined? Those are just a few. I'll keep going on here for a little bit. We got generous. You can be grateful. That can be one of your strengths. Although I think everybody should start today with a little attitude of gratitude that just gives you that energy that you need in the morning to know that you're in a good place. And even if you're not in a good place, because it always sounds so easy, then I know that, excuse me, I know that you will be in a good place. Just keeping the faith and keep your hopes up because you can do it. One of your strengths can be that you're strong in situations where everything is just chaotic and everything is just crazy, right? You might be outspoken, you might be very passionate, you might be very patient. Not one of mine. You want to be persuasive, maybe. You might be practical, intuitive. You might be involved. All these words are relating to your strength. Are you motivated? Are you selfless? Are you seasoned? Are you responsive? Are you, what else do we have here? Insightful, right? That's a great one, insightful. That means that you just can oversee situations and you just have an idea of where it's going. So sometimes it has to do with the things that you have learned. You're insightful because you like to share the things that you've learned with others, just like I do. So these are very important things to find out where your strength is. You might be methodological. You might be somebody who is very forgiving. You might be somebody who is very humble and honest. Those are strengths. So we want to look through all that on a long list of strengths and find out about 10 things. Find out about 10 things that are really standing out as your strength. And how do we find that? In the first place, you could ask yourself to find these skills. What am I really good at? Are you good with people? Are you good to help people? Are you good with children? Are you good at your work? Are you very systematic? Are you very dedicated? Are you very motivated with the things that you're doing? Do you inspire others to do great things? What are you good at? Are you somebody that people trust, that people come to? Are you reliable, right? Those things are very important. And then another question to ask, I'm sorry, just like sniffing and snoring through here. We're women, right? I'm being authentic today. No makeup, no nothing, just being authentic. So what am I good at? And then the next thing that you're going to ask yourself is, how do I do things? Do I do it alone or do I do it together? If you are somebody who can do things alone, that usually relates to a lot of strength, right? Because you don't need people, um, to do a lot of things for you. But are you also a team worker? Do you like to do things together? Are you a leader? Are you a team person, right? That all is good to find out about yourself because that makes, if you're somebody who likes somebody else to lead, but you are very good filling in the blanks everywhere and making sure that everything gets done. We need that. We need people that are just, the team leaders and the people that are the team itself, right? And so we don't always have to step up to the plate and be the number one. Number two and number three can be great people to have next to you and beside you because we all need to work together in the end to get things done. But if you are a person like myself that is taking initiatives, but then first struggles through it myself, that's what I do, right? I struggle through it myself. And then later on I'll share it. And then it looks so easy. I kind of dive in and don't share it in the beginning. And sometimes I need to, right? I'm being called to a halt and I need to learn to share or ask for help. That happens a lot. And sometimes I kind of have to dig in myself first, if it's a challenge, if it's an obstacle. And sometimes it's just, an exciting challenge, right? Something new, an exciting journey I'm going on. So how do you do things? Do you do them alone or do you do them together? And then what skills and what knowledge have you acquired over all these years? So I always say, to be successful, you have to let go of the past, in a sense of, let go of the troubles that are holding you back. Let's letting go of the stress that's holding you back, and the pain that's holding you back. That doesn't determine who you are. Your trauma doesn't determine who you are. You have to move with and move through it, as I always say. And then you can move forwards and move up. But to be able to find out that that is actually a lot of knowledge that you have required, because you have already overcome a lot of things. Where are you going to put that? And that sometimes has to do with that why question, right? So you have been through so much in life, and it might have not been all roses and sunshine. There might be a lot of difficult things that you went through. But where are you going to put that? What are you going to do with this, with all that knowledge, with these skills of you overcoming very difficult situations in the past? Not necessarily stay there, but use what you have learned to move forward and spread the wealth, right? Move it and pay it forwards. Your knowledge, your strength. So that is very important. And then what abilities and skills do you have there, right? It's also really important to think about those abilities and strength things that you have there. So that is the most important thing of being in a place where you can recognize your own strength. So it's always important to reach out or find a long list of skills and strength that you have, and that you have accumulated. I couldn't talk. And if you have accumulated so much in the past, where are you going to put it? What are you going to do with it? It's so important. Thank you for coming on to the show. Some people are here a little bit later, so thank you for joining. We're talking about strength today, finding your strength and using your strength to move forwards in 2024. And as I did so many workshops this week about, or last month and this week, about planning 2024, I always say, if you feel a little stuck, you got to plan. You got to plan ahead, because then you have so much control over these strengths that you can put in place everywhere, over the things that you want to do. You have so much ability to plan your own future. But if you don't plan and things hit the fan, then you're going to just go in that stress mode and anxiety. And I talk about that so much. What you want to do to control times of high stress and anxiety. They're going to come. That's for sure. Like I said, life is not going to get easier, but you're going to get better at it if you have this basic skills in place to control stress or control anxiety. Stress is just a daily thing that happens the whole day, right? I might watch the news and be really, really emotionally involved in what they're saying. I might really be scared, and my body might react to that. Those are just daily stressors that happen to all of us. But when we don't get out of them, we stay in that, and we keep thinking about our stress and anxiety, and just fearful of anything that might happen, then it means that you didn't have a plan in place. And a plan in place is just that plan that goes back to what I just talked about, back to having that vision of where you want to be in 3 months or in 6 months or in a year, and how you're going to fill that in. And that's what I talked about a couple of times last week, the week before, last month, and also in several workshops. Let's plan it together. So I'll do it soon again. And then just reach out to me if you want to have one of these workshop materials, or if you want to have the material of this episode, right? Elianhaan@gmail. Just reach out and then say, hey, I would love to have that sheet that you are using for the questions to find your strength. You have to find your strength because they're so amazing. You're so unique. You're this person that has the capacity to move forwards, to make 22 an amazing year. It's so funny, when my son grew up and he was very little, I had done this, I had done this workshop, and I just learned about positive thinking and changing things around into a more positive manner, how I could have control over my thinking, right? And I didn't know that you can control your thinking. What the heck? I didn't know anything about it. And you can really control your thinking making things manifest, making things come true. And what I did with that, for instance, is that at that point, I saw myself as, a person who was heavily dependent on other things and events and things in the outside myself, outside my own control. I let everything just kind of devastate me, right? I didn't know that I could change that. And so what I did with it is that I could say, I'm going to make it a great day. So when my son was little, for instance, I brought him to school, then every morning I would say, make it a great day. And now that's so normal for me. I have done that for years, that if I go somewhere or I see somebody or I, talk to anybody else, I make it a great day, right? It's so important that you can do that for yourself. Make it a great day is so important because you are a little bit in control of how you're going to react to situations. And then if you don't know what to do, I am, as a person who helps you through that, go throw you back in the past and say, what happened? What did you overcome? What were your strengths, your strong points right there? What skills did you have in place when you were there? So that is so super important that you're thinking about the things that have happened. And another good question is, and I've had said this a couple of times the last couple of weeks, also stepping into this new year with energy and new plans and things. What I've also said many times is, if you are in control of this year, it will be a great year because you are putting more thoughts in place towards that vision and towards that dream. Right. So it's really, really important to keep that positive thinking going and know that you can do it. And if there's just any doubt, right, it happens to all of us. Oh my goodness, look at me. I'm having this day like this morning. Oh God, I can't do it. I'm feeling sick. My voice is not with me and I'm having a snotty nose and the whole bit. So we're being authentic here and a little bit snooshy, right? A little bit cold, but I just wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share this with you that it's so important that some of these things you write down. So write these 10 strengths down that you have and celebrate them. They have made you so unique, and then celebrate them. And sometimes we can do the same with values, right? We also have values that we can look at. And that means values is more like, what are these things that are really important to you? What matters to you? It's so important that you look at the things that are values for you that can be kind of the same things, right? Sometimes it's like the strength. It can be that you're approachable, you pay attention to detail, you're accountable, you have courage. For me, I'm compassionate, right? It's important for me to be compassionate. It's important for me to make a commitment. I'm talking to people all the time about commitment. We need to talk about that because that's another whole different chapter, talking about commitment. But and I did something in a show a couple of weeks ago about commitment. It's so important that we make a couple of promises to ourselves. At the beginning of the year last week, I said, let's throw this New Year's resolution out of the window. Resolutions I saw last year. I said, make a contract or a promise to yourself and write a few things down that you can actually, in a really in a smart way, right? In a really, really realistic way and a measurable way, that you can keep accountability, that you can keep accountability to yourself. You're your own boss. I'm very disciplined. I've always been very disciplined because I have an education very disciplined. And I like to do things very disciplined because it gives me the time of the day that I can do the things that I need to do. First, eat the frog when you get up. First, do the things you don't want to do. And then you have time for other things, right? But if you do that first and you're getting and you're stepping into it, then you start feeling that strength and you start feeling powerful. You start feeling that gratefulness in the morning. For me, if it's discipline that is important to me, it means that I get up and I do my mindfulness things. I read a little bit and I'm quiet for a while. I don't want anybody around me for a little bit, maybe 10 minutes. You can meditate for an hour, but you can meditate for 5 or 10 minutes and just listen to the small meditation app for 5 minutes, right? It just gets you into that attitude of gratitude. And then after taking care of myself and getting dressed, I'm on my desk and I'm getting after it. And sometimes those are things that I don't want to do, but I got to eat the frog first. And then it opens up. At the same time, if I do that, I'm so happy that I got it out of the way. I'm so happy that I did it. Because that means for me that maybe the rest of the afternoon opens up, or of course in the morning, I like to schedule my clients so that I don't have to do that late in the day. Sometimes there's somebody that comes after work at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. But in that sense, I want to find my strength right in that disciplinarian way in the morning where I do things in a certain structure. Now, I don't know if you ever read or if you read my book, I would say, but if you read the thing that has to do with discipline and you wake up and you get things done, then that is that sense of accomplishments again, right? So that's why that is so important. We like that so much. We like that so much because it gives us a good sense. And one of the things that I do with my clients is you have to pat yourself on the back. You want to pat yourself on the back every day. So look for your values. Are you valuing honesty? Are you valuing justice or patriotism, maybe? Obedience, maybe, or efficiency? Maybe high performance, or maybe ownership, right? Maybe are you learning? Is that a value that you constantly want to learn and grow? That's important as well. So I want to talk a little bit today about, I wanted to talk about those strengths and values. Find some things that you're really proud of and that make you, you. And then I'll talk to you again next week. So I'll keep it short today because we are going to go offline. I just wanted to share this with you. I'm sorry I was so snippy and snotty. I apologize, but I am glad. I'm a little bit all over the place and flustered, but I want to share this with you and I hope you got something out of it. So reach out to me. Alionham.com is my website. There's many social media sites and you can ask me questions. If you want me to share some of these PDFs or some of these worksheets with you, just reach out. It was great to see you today and thank you for watching. And I'll be back next week with Allianz Joy on Win Win Women TV. Namaste and make it a great day.